Now, where do I begin? It was a dark and stormy night. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Urolua Unknown, and I'm so glad that you're here. I film about mental health, emotional healing, and my Christian journey. If this is your first time of being here, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe, to like, to drop a comment, and to share. And if you're a returning subscriber, you mean so much to me. I was about to start singing. Thank you so much for returning. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, to share, to drop a comment, and to tell more people to subscribe. So before I walked down the aisle, I had relationships that did not end up with me walking down the aisle. And some of them were a lot more dramatic than others. Some were a lot more traumatic than others, and some were actually everything was traumatic, if I'm being honest. Okay, maybe except one. But that's beside the point. Thankfully, there are stories now that I can laugh about, and thankfully I've been able to learn a couple of things from them. I was talking to my husband, and we were just talking about how I had a bunch of things that I've not really said publicly that I probably need to gradually. And then we came up with the idea of me talking about this as one of them. I need to put a disclaimer that there were different situations in each of the relationships, and so I had different things that I learned, right? But I'm going to be speaking very generally, and I'm going to obviously not be able to mention everything. I'm going to mention these points in order of priority or anything. I'm just going to be mentioning them as your course. So yeah. So the first thing I learned from my relationships that didn't end up in marriage, that didn't end up at the altar, is that low self-esteem is very blinding. Honestly, I feel like low self-esteem is a very, very bad place to make a decision from, if that makes sense. I feel like it affected me very badly because there were so many things that I tolerated, so many things I even took pride in, to be honest, because I thought that was what I deserved. I thought I couldn't. I remember thinking for a very long time that I couldn't get better than a certain situation I was in, and it's because the way I saw myself was not right. The irony is that even in that period, a lot of people gave me a lot of compliments. I had a couple of things still working out for me. If I'm being honest, I had a bunch of stuff working out for me, but I still had low self-esteem as a result of certain factors, and as a result, I thought certain things were okay. I did a lot of very, very what I consider now to be humiliating things. At that time, I didn't think they were humiliating. And now when I look back, I realize how much I shortchanged myself because I didn't see myself. I didn't have the right image of myself. I didn't see myself in the healthiest way. So I was even overjoyed in some situations that were very, very unhealthy. To be honest, I even took pride in them. I think that's one of the things I learned, that low self-esteem is very blinding. It can make you see poison and call it a gift, or it can make you see toxicity and rejoice. It's a very dangerous place to make a decision from. If you feel like you don't have the best sense of self, I'd encourage you not to get into a relationship. That's just my opinion, right? Because I don't think you won't be seen through the lens that you should, and hence not making decisions that are ultimately in your best interest and that glorifies God. And another thing I want to talk about is how I've learned how important personal development is, because when I was in a particular situation, my coping strategies were unhealthy basically, and it's as a result of the lack of development I had allowed myself to partake in. Because if I had gotten to a place where I was in an emotionally healthy place, I had worked on my emotions, I was growing in that area mentally, emotionally, even spiritually, to be honest, I wouldn't have been, the Bible says if you feel in the day of adversity your strength is weak. I wouldn't have been so weak. I've used the coping strategies I used, because I would have been able to make healthier decisions. I would have been able to walk away from what didn't serve me without trying to use unhealthy methods. So now I consider emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, everything, mental health, all those things to be extremely important, because even the ways I cope with disagreements in my marriage and with raising our daughter and stuff like that, it all matters how emotionally regulated I am, how mentally fit I am. So yeah, personal development is extremely important, and if a person is not growing in that area, the cracks will eventually show. So yeah. Then God's instructions are there for my safety. I feel like that should have even been number one, to be honest. But like I said, I'm not mentioning another priority or anything, because fam. I feel like when we compromise, we don't realize how much harm we are causing ourselves. I know it seems, trendy to do a lot of things. It's even a bragging right in some situations, and it's comfortable, it makes sense. We're probably even doing well in certain areas while compromising on God's standards. But honestly, I've realized how much harm that causes. Honestly, I don't even want to start, because I feel like it is one of the most important things I'm going to say on here. I feel like compromising on God's standards of what purity is, of what of how we should live basically, is always going to backfire, regardless of how many times we say it won't. In many ways, mentally, emotionally, relationally, physically, even possibly spiritually, obviously. Honestly, God's standards are always for our benefit. They're always for our protection. Yes, God forgives, obviously. Yes, He loves you with reckless love, obviously, but His instructions are for our protection. I don't know why I feel very strongly that certain people need to hear this, but please don't compromise. You can't see what God sees. Your ways are far from His ways. Your eyes can't see what He's saying right now, but His instructions are for your protection and for your benefit, regardless of how trendy or how comfortable or how seamless the compromise feels. So I feel like that's something I would say is very important that I've learned. Compromising on God's standards is always a bad idea. So yeah. Then warning signs. Let's talk about warning signs. another very crucial point. And I don't even just mean warning signs that you see the other party or your partner exhibiting. I mean warning signs that also involve you. For example, if you're in a relationship and the person is doing something that you know to be wrong, but you are responding in ways that you're like, oh, where did this come from, or where did that come from, or why am I doing this, or why am I doing that? I also feel like those are warning signs of work that you need to get done in yourself. So I feel like it's not just warning signs that, you know, red flags, oh, this person is abusive or this, no, but I also feel like for ourselves, like sometimes who we are in relationships and all, the way we flip and all of that might be pointers to stuff that we have not dealt with or we need to deal with. And I feel like that's something I had to learn. If I was wise enough or sensitive enough or alert enough, I should have picked up on certain things a lot earlier, that, oh yeah, this is a sign that I need to work on this. The way I'm reacting is not right at all. This is impure and stuff like this. So that's something I've come to learn. So it's not only your partner, right, that can have a red flag waving in front of his face. I feel like we ourselves, and that's where introspection comes in anyways. Like I said, I wasn't wise enough to do a lot of that. So yeah. I feel like that's another very important point. Warning signs. Pay attention to the warning signs for your partner, obviously, right? I don't think I need to emphasize that one. And then for yourself, that's where it gets a bit hard to be honest with yourself. You know, look yourself in the mirror and say, oh yeah, so if I'm responding like this, it means I have a lot of stuff in this area that I've not dealt with, or maybe I need to see somebody about this, or maybe there's something deeper going here. I had so many of those situations, so many where I should have dug deeper, that, oh, the way I'm reacting or the way I'm responding to this life situation and this thing, that, yeah, I feel like what they did is wrong, or yeah, I feel like being in this position in the first place is wrong, or yeah, this, I was misunderstood, or, you know, stuff like that. But even the way I reacted and all those things should have been pointers to me. Eventually, when I got wiser, they became pointers, but in earlier instances, no, I would just ignore them and just think, oh, I'm entitled to reacting like this, and I've come to learn that that's not always a good thing. That's something I've come to learn, to pay attention to the red flags in my character, and it takes me back to personal development. And I think this is my final point for this video, and that's about looking beyond feelings and looks and physical things. Well, feelings are not physical, but you get my point, right? So yeah, that's something that I made a lot of mistakes about. I made a lot of decisions from the place of my body, you know, tripartite beings, body, soul, spirit. I made a lot of decisions from my even soul a little bit, because feelings, emotions. So that's where I made a lot of decisions from, and obviously that was a bad idea. Not like they are not important, but they are not as important as certain other things, which I've now come to learn. I came to learn it over time, right? And I feel like it's very easy for people to dismiss this, because you know, the way we are, it's very easy to dismiss a lot of things, even things that are biblical, to be honest, in the world and the generation that we are in. So let alone something like this, right? But honestly, that's something that I have come to. In fact, what is so interesting is how even people that you consider to be drop dead gorgeous and all those things, and you had all the butterflies, and the butterflies, you know, they were caterpillar and they actually became butterfly, and now they have babies and grandchildren, and everything is just all over inside of you. Is that, I had to give you that picture so you know how intense the feelings are, right? Even if it is that intense that the butterfly now has a whole army inside of you, it can still even people that look extremely incredible can over time not even mean anything, possibly because you got older, or life, or you found out who they really are, stuff like that. Like, even things like that can, like, physical things are really, how did Solomon put it again? Vanity upon vanity. Like, yeah, it's not like they're not important. Obviously, I believe in looking good and things like that, but it's just that if 100% of your attention, of our attention, is on, if that's where we make decisions from, we can easily make mistakes. That's something that I've come to learn, right? That it's always wiser to make decisions first from your spirit, then all the other things can align. That's what I believe, and that's what I've come to learn. So yeah. So thank you so much for, if you got to this point, bravo. Take your, I have an empty bottle here. I was going to give you, but take your prize. No, thank you for actually staying to this point. I'm actually psyched. Yay. Yeah, so those are some of the things I learned from my relationships that didn't end up on the aisle. Obviously there's a bunch of other things, but those are the ones that came to the top of my head, and I didn't want the video to be too long. So yeah, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, to share, to subscribe, to drop a comment, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.